Good morning, USA, and the aliens gay, That's how they sung the theme song in that one Family Guy episode. Meg ended up doing the intro to American Dad. Oddly enough, Joe also did the intro. It's American Dad Day. We're getting patriotic. Wild Review, and welcome to day 22 of 25 Wild Christmas Review Days, the cartoon specials. I almost messed up there. Continuing on with our adult animation lineup, we are talking about American Dad today, a show that shares the same light of just never ending and constantly spitting out Christmas specials. Although I will say, I think out of all the shows I'm talking about, American Dad is the one show I probably would have accepted talking about each and every Christmas episode, because they do something a little interesting with their Christmas specials. Majority of all their Christmas specials seem to connect in one huge storyline. I've seen enough American Dad to know that it's really no different than any other animated sitcom. The show does have its one-off episodes where just random stuff happens and it's magically fixed within the next episode, but sometimes there will be episodes that are connected with each other. There was a whole story arc where the character Jeff had discovered Roger was an alien, and then he got sent off to space because it was either Roger or Jeff had to die, and Roger was like, alright, I'm gonna go back to space, I'll get out of your hair, but he pushes Jeff and Jeff ends up going into space, and that was a whole thing that happened. And the Christmas specials seem to fall in line with that continuity also. There are Christmas specials that connect with each other. There's this whole story arc with the Smith family going against Santa multiple times. There's multiple battles. I think I would have definitely had an interesting time watching each Christmas special of this show just to understand the story at hand, especially being that there are episodes that I probably haven't seen, because like Family Guy and The Simpsons, I don't watch the newer American Dad episodes. In fact, I only catch American Dad when it's on Adult Swim. I know American Dad has also had a pretty interesting history. If I have it right, I think there were 2 endings to the show. I know there was the hot tub episode that was supposed to be the finale of the show because they didn't know if they were getting renewed. And I think around the time that they transitioned from airing on Fox to TBS, there was the announcement that it was being canceled, but TBS picked them up. I know season 11 only has like 3 episodes because of that change. It's an interesting show, and I guess we should talk about it now, along with the episodes that I've decided to talk about, because I'm not talking about every Christmas episode. I've only chosen 3. That's the rule. American Dad is an animated television series that originally aired on Fox as of 2005, until 2014 when it started premiering new episodes as it was relocated to TBS. New episodes continued to this day, making it very similar to a traditional adult show or Fox program that doesn't know when to quit. The show focuses on the lives of the Smith family, specifically the father who works as a CIA agent, living their lives in their hometown of Langley Falls. Living with the Smith family is also a gay alien named Roger that they are hiding out in their attic, and a talking fish named Klaus. In 2013, Minstrel Krampus premiered, I hope I'm saying that right, and saw Steve getting taken by Krampus due to his brattiness and after Stan released him from his prison. Stan and Roger travel to the North Pole to get Santa to help them bring Steve home, while Haley takes a job at the airport to buy her family the best Christmas presents. Then, in 2014, Dreaming of a White Porsche Christmas aired and saw Stan making a wish he had the bachelor life Principal Lewis has, no cares or worries about having a family to take care of. The wish comes true, but Stan learns not only did he get Lewis's life, Lewis got his family life, making Stan regret the wish. Finally, in 2017, Santa Schmanta aired and saw Roger joining Snot in his Hanukkah festivities, as they both share a feeling of wanting attention. Eventually, Roger takes control of the holiday after putting on Santa's magic outfit and gaining his powers, becoming the Jewish Santa known as Schmanta, forcing everyone in Langley Falls to celebrate Hanukkah. I think if you were to ask me which show of Seth MacFarlane's I liked better, whether it was Family Guy or American Dad, I think I would say I like Family Guy a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with American Dad. I like watching it. There were moments that I find funny. Some storylines I find really interesting. I think it's because I find Family Guy a little more entertaining, honestly. American Dad is one of those shows that I'll just have on in the background and I'll just let it play. But there are moments that I do enjoy watching from the show. Family Guy is also a bit more musical than American Dad. I mean, even though it's kind of the same team, it's different voice actors on American Dad, but there are a few times where songs will break out in American Dad. There are songs in one of the Christmas episodes that we're going to talk about, and I mean, they're fine, but I don't know, if I had to choose, I think I like Family Guy a lot more. And like I said with American Dad, their Christmas episodes are something interesting, each telling a story within a bigger story. I don't exactly know where the feud between Santa and the Smith family originated from. I believe one of the first Christmas specials they ever had was, it had something to do with like I guess an angel. I do know there's the episode where everybody goes up to heaven on Christmas morning except a few people. I mean, that one to me was okay. The three that I just specifically introduced, those are three personal favorites of mine. If I had to choose, I like these three. So let's just get into it. The Krampus one, I mean, that's kind of an earworm for me. This is the musical one that I just hinted at just a few seconds ago. I never really got into the idea of Krampus because I'm so associated with the idea that if you are naughty, you just get coal from Santa. But I guess this is a completely different form of naughty. I never grew up with the legend of Krampus personally. I'm sure maybe some other families have. Every family does the holidays differently, but truthfully, I was not exposed to Krampus until I was in my late teens. I think specifically when the Krampus movie came out. I think that was my first major exposure to Krampus as an icon. The main thing with this episode is the songs. It does seem to be a very musical episode. Not every character has a musical number, but there's at least one song, and maybe not every scene, but a good amount of scenes have a song. I don't think anything would have been different if this episode didn't have musical numbers, but that is just my opinion. One of the things that I like, which they never did a direct call out to, but I'm pretty sure this is what they were going for. When we get to Krampus's castle, there's a bunch of objects that are obviously alive, and they're kind of helping Steve, and when the fight happens at the end, you see them all die and blood comes out of them. I mean, the wall gets stabbed. The wall, that gave me the biggest laugh. Why the hell is the wall alive? For me, and I don't know if this was the intention, maybe it was, they never did a direct call out to it, but for me, it felt like they were doing a Beauty and the Beast reference, and it makes perfect sense because Krampus is a beast-like character, and you have all these objects that are talking and walking alike. It was as if they were once people. This one, oddly enough, has a moment where Stan's dad ends up becoming Krampus. So I guess my comment on how nothing significant happens in Christmas episodes, remember when I said that a while ago? Well, I guess this show is an exception because, like, this is something that's continued on. And if I have it right, I don't think the character is Krampus for the entire series as of this point. Unless I am wrong, but I do see the episodes out of order sometimes. I do know that Krampus has returned in later episodes, and it has been Stan's dad, so they've kept that continuity. So, you know, that's something that happens. Honestly, for me, the one thing I find the most humorous about this episode is Haley's subplot. Haley has this big musical number at the very beginning, singing about how she wants to get her family the perfect gift. She needs a job, and she ends up getting a job at an airport. Then later in the episode, we get to see her working at the airport. She does this little Jamaican song. And then that's it. We don't see any more of her in the episode. We don't even see the gifts that she buys. And that to me is pretty funny because they just set this whole thing up and we don't get a resolution. I find that really interesting. I like the episode because of the songs. The songs are definitely very catchy and earworm-like, and for that, I enjoy watching it. Following that, we have Dreaming of a White Porsche Christmas. This is one of those standalone Christmas specials, and an actually really interesting special. What really got me to like this episode is the ending. The episode's kind of a direct reference to It's a Wonderful Life, but you can also take it as a traditional making a wish and the wish comes true Christmas episode. The way this one works is Stan puts the angel topper on top of the tree right before he makes his wish, lights flicker, and then originally, he goes to sleep and then wakes up to see the wish came true. But later on in the episode, all he needs to do is just shut his eyes for like a quick second, and then the wish is granted for him. Roger ends up coming with him because Roger's touching his butt, and now they're in a world where by magic Stan is no longer married, and he learned he has taken Principal Lewis's life and Lewis has taken his life. So, you know, traditional Christmas stuff taking fold. What's coming to mind is the iCarly Christmas episode where Carly wishes that Spencer was normal. That's kind of the same vibe I'm getting here, but I think that's just a normal feeling to have when you see an episode like this. You know, like this is a common thing you would expect from a Christmas episode, but I did say that the ending was where it really got me involved with the episode. A bit of a spoiler if you don't want to be spoiled with this. I don't know if this is added on continuity or a layer to this show, but it was kind of cool. Stan learns his lesson essentially seconds after he is shot dead, and his guardian angel comes to him and is like, "You've learned your lesson, family is important, let's get you back to your original family." And you would think it's the family that we've been following, but Stan walks into his house to see that he's now in the presence of a completely different family, and then we learn that this is his original family. And clearly this was not something that they had planned from the start of the show. I highly doubt that. This is something that was just an idea that was put in this Christmas episode, and it wasn't a bad one. The family that we have known all this time, plot twist, ain't your real family, dude. They have a great resolution for it. It's not even like, oh, psych, we gotcha, this was another lesson. It's, no, this is your real family that you were taken away from, and we gave you these people. That was really clever, and really funny, and really cool, and interesting. I liked it. I remember the first time I saw that, I actually was like very invested in the episode. Like I told you, usually I'll have the show on as like background noise, and occasionally I'll watch and pay attention, and in this case I was watching and paying attention, and it was at that moment where I didn't want to hear anything else. I was just very invested by what was happening here. I know it's probably not a big deal, but I thought it was really cool. That's really the only major thing I like of the episode. I mean, the episode itself is fine. It's very enjoyable. I love the faces that both Stan and Roger make as they're driving the white Porsche. It was cool. I thought the story was done very well. And then we have Santa Schmanta, which is technically a Hanukkah special for the show also, but it is still heavily a Christmas episode, but it's got a lot of Hanukkah in it, so we can consider it both. We be one for the holidays. This episode was cool also. There is a bit of context that we are missing in terms of what happened before and why Santa is the way he is. I mean, we clearly see that he dies at the very beginning, but if you were to watch the episode, you can clearly tell that this is continuing from last year's Christmas special, which, if I have it right, I think that's the one where there is a physical battle between the family and Santa and his elves at the North Pole. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think it's the episode that starts off with the family planting decoys of themselves and then planning to just stay in a basement bunker until the day after Christmas. It might be that one. But this one I mainly like, not necessarily for the story's sake, but just because it's very rare that I see a Hanukkah special, and there was just something about it that I found really interesting. Hanukkah slowly taking over Christmas, essentially. I find it interesting. I find it funny, and being that it is Roger who's taking control of the whole thing, I mean, you know, if you know the character Roger, you know he's going to take it up to another level. So it's no surprise that at the very end of the episode it goes down the route that it ends up going down. I find the character Snot to be a very interesting character also. Snot feels like he has something important to say while also nonsense to say at the exact same time. Those three Christmas episodes, out of all of them, are the ones that I have seen the most, I should have mentioned at the very beginning. But they're also episodes that I do enjoy out of the other ones that this show has. I haven't seen any of the newer Christmas episodes. Like I mentioned, I haven't seen many of the newer American Dad episodes. I usually just watch the reruns. And the episodes I didn't bring up, obviously those aren't as interesting to me personally. I mean, I guess the one that I just described, where there's the decoy family as they're going into bunkers, that one can be interesting. I just don't remember if that came before Santa Schmanta. Also the one with everybody going up to heaven. That was a cool concept, but I kind of lost interest halfway through. And that's it. That's it with the American Dad Christmas episodes. Maybe one day, maybe even this holiday season, maybe I will watch all the episodes in the order that I'm supposed to, and maybe I'll like the story just a little bit more. And that's that. That's the American Dad Christmas specials that I wanted to talk about. If you're a fan of American Dad, or you like the style of Seth MacFarlane, or just that animation style of humor regardless, you may enjoy it. If you like American Dad, let me know in the comments below what you like about it. Do you like American Dad? Let's have a conversation. If you do like the show, what's your favorite Christmas special? I'd love to know. Maybe it's one that I personally am not thinking about. It's very possible. Dude, I was rubbing my eyes and I just started hearing sleigh bells. Like, I'm not even joking. That's it for American Dad. That's it for day 22. We're gonna keep moving along. Hey, we're almost to Christmas. Tomorrow's day 23. We're almost there. And you know how we're gonna celebrate day 23? We're gonna celebrate by eating fast food. Does that give you a hint as to what I'm gonna be talking about next? I hope it does. I'm not giving you any more hints. Come back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about another adult animation Christmas special. With an S at the end, meaning multiple. Thanks for watching The Wild Review, and you just saw me review a thing.